All right, what's up, guys? VV back with another video. And in today's video, guys, we're going to be checking out a pretty interesting matchup here between green Uda, the film Green Uda, and yellow Katakuri. Okay, and this is over in the East. This is OP06.5, technically. So, in other words, they have all the OP06 stuff, and they have EB01. Okay, so let's go ahead and just dive straight into this. And I think they're up to ST13 as far as like the starter decks go, which is the Three Brothers Bond. All right, so let's go ahead and dive in and check out this game. This is going to be a game analysis style video. So we've got play speed at 2. You know, we got the volume off, and we're just going to break down and analyze this really interesting matchup here between Uda and Katakuri. Not a matchup I see very often. I think I might have already said that. Sorry if I sound like a broken record, but yeah, I'm very interested to see how this goes. And this is the finals of this big tournament of whatever they're doing here. I don't know if this is regionals or nationals, so if someone does know, please, by all means, tell us down in the comment section below. Okay, so let's go ahead and check out Uda's hand here. We got a 3-cost Mihawk, we got the 8-cost Eustace Kid, the 7-cost Luffy, 3-cost Uda, that's a blocker, and 4-cost Zoro. If you have any questions on any of these, like I said, just message or just put something down in the comment section below, and I can answer it down there. Okay, so not an incredible start, that's for sure. There's no 1 or 2 cost card in hand, and there's also, I don't think there's a 2K counter. Excuse me. Okay, there is. Excuse me. There is a 2K counter in Mihawk. Very solid. I forgot about that. Okay, so now let's see what the Katakuri has. Now he has 2 2K counters, a Nekomamushi, Kikinojo, and a Gidatsu. So the Gidatsu is nice, excuse me, but the Flampies, the 2Ks are nice as well, but there's no pudding in this. There's no Perospero, so not an ideal start for the Katakuri. But those 2K counters are nice. I would probably, okay, we got to make predictions right now. Do you think this player is going to use Flampy on turn 1? Because that card says draw a card. So you pay 1 to drop down this 1-cost character. I think it's a 1,000 power character. And you'll be able to draw a card and draw the top card of your life. Is it worth doing? Maybe not in Katakuri. But I'll tell you what, guys. In Black-Yellow Linlin and Black-Yellow Luffy, I think it's probably a very serious consideration you should have early on in the game. Okay, so let's see what happens. This game is about to start. Let's see who gets to go first here. Let me make sure. We do have it on 2x speed. Yes. And, okay, I'm just going to fast forward because I'd like to see. Okay, here we go. So, Uda's going to go first. We already know there's nothing they can play, so Dawn and Pass. Katakuri goes second, draws into another Gidatsu, gets Dawn and Pass. Uda draws a I'm invincible for the turn, which allows her to untap to attack again. But it looks like they don't want to load up a Dawn. So real quick, for those who don't know, Uda, the leader, over on the left here, they have when attacking, attach 1 Dawn, and then when attacking, you can look at the top card of your deck, and if it is a film card, you draw a card. So he decided not to do that, and he'd rather play one of his 3-cost cards in hand, it looks like. Okay, so Nekomamushi counter out. That is really interesting. And by the way, the Katakuri did not play a Flampy turn 1, but countering out with Nekomamushi there is a really interesting call to me. Like, I would rather play that card. So just to give you guys a heads up, green in general, and especially this film deck, does not have a lot of KO. I think it has Backlight or Blacklight, whatever it's called, a new film card from the Uda starter deck. But generally speaking, green doesn't have a ton of removal. And so putting down Nekomamushi means you're going to be able to attack into whatever they played. So I'm surprised he actually trashed that. Okay, but he must have something else in mind. So the Uda blocker comes out. That card has, at the end of your turn, you can trash a card from your hand and stand up one of your film cards. So it does have some strong utility. Or one of your film characters, I believe. Okay, swing 5 at life. So obviously he's going to play a 4-cost card. Nice, he got a Nami from life. So play out the Kikinojo. So for those who don't know, Kikinojo, when she is KO'd, if your opponent has 3 or less life, you can gain a life from her on KO. And the same thing is true of her trigger and Nekomamushi's trigger, where if your opponent has 3 or less life, you can just play this card straight from your life. Okay, very strong card. So now we're going to use the Uda's effect, draws the 7-cost Luffy, and swings for 6. All right, so here we go. 2K counter, uses the beige for Katakuri. Pay 3 and +1 for the Nami Searcher to get a top 3 search. And it looks like he's going to get the 2K counter Sanji. This is a new 2K counter from EB01. It's a Sanji card. All right, and now we're going to pass back over to Katakuri. So here we go. Like, looking at the board state now, this is where, again, I feel like that Neko Mamushi would have just been better, because you can attack directly into their characters with it, right? Like that, I don't know. That just seems really strong to me. But okay, we're going to swing 7 at life, and he's going to look at the top card of his own life. And let's see if he wants to keep it there. He wants to put it on the bottom of his life. Okay. So swing, and he takes it. The Uda player takes it. And then Gadatsu takes out the Nami. Very nice. So that is very nice. And now it's back to the Uda player's turn. Swing 5 with 7 Dawn untapped. We know 7-cost Luffy's coming down, right? There's pretty much no question that the 7-cost Luffy is going to come down. At that point, playing out another Nami and pass turn. So the Uda player has a 7-life character, or excuse me, a 7,000 power blocker, a 4,000 power blocker, and 2 life with about, it looks like about 8 or 9 cards in hand. I don't even know. What is that? 4, 8, yeah, 9 cards in hand. And the Katakuri player has 6 cards in hand. But those are very relevant cards. I saw a Tenlin. I saw some 2K counters. A lot of good stuff there. Swing 6, no counter. Interesting. So the Uda player decides, I'm not going to counter here. And we know he has the 8-cost kid. And they even showed it right there. So there's the Eustace kid. So it looks like he just wants to set this card down and win the game off of this card. Which, man, that is extremely, extremely risky to do against Katakuri. Because he can just use his 8-cost Katakuri to just bounce the card back, right? Maybe Katakuri decks aren't running the 8-cost Katakuri, though. I don't know. I don't know what the meta is over there. Guys, hang on. So much is happening and so much is like popping in my mind right now. So the yellow Katakuri list that we're looking at has a lot of trigger cards and a lot of early stuff, and it still has Tenlin, and still, I'm sure, still has plenty of 2K counters and events. So there might not be any room in this deck for 8-cost Katakuri, which means this 8-cost Eustace kid that is about to hit the board over on Uda's side will have absolutely no answer for it. He will have to attack over it, or he can't, or he won't be able to do anything, right? Now, okay, so the Uda player took all those hits and went down to 0 life. He has a 7-cost blocker Luffy and the 3-cost searcher Nami. Let's see what happens here. He has 9 Dawn, so he is very, very obviously... Whoa, pause. So he did not use the Nami effect for obvious reasons, right? Because he is going to very obviously play down his 8-cost kid, use Kid's effect to play down another character, and then use the remaining Dawn to attach to the Kid so that he must be attacked on his opponent's next turn. Okay, here we go. So 1K counter out, swing 5 more, takes it, no trigger. Oh, he's thinking about swinging with Luffy. Okay, wow, that seems like a bold play, right? Bold strategy, Cotton. Swing 7. Okay, let's see what he gets. He's looking at... It's a 200 million... Oh, nice. We can see it down at the bottom, right? It's a 200 million volts Maru. He decides not to use that trigger. Eustace Kid, activate main, play out a... Oh, very nice. You see what's about to happen? Plays out the 3-cost Uda. Now he'll be able to trash a card at the end of his turn to stand Luffy back up to get an additional blocker. Wow. Very, very strong synergy there, guys. Beautiful, beautiful synergy there. That is rough. Okay, so now there's a 7K blocker, there's 8-cost Kid down, and a full hand of cards. I mean, there are, what, 4... I think there's 8 or 9 cards in the Uda player's hand right now. And remember, the Katakuri cannot take any life from the Uda. So this goes back, I mentioned this in the last video we did of this tournament, talking about how there's really 2 ways to play against Katakuri. Number 1... You can just try to protect your life at all costs and just, you know, literally sacrifice all the cards in your hand to gain life, to gain extra turns, basically, right? Or to gain extra chance at getting another turn later in the game. Then the other answer is just to aggressively take all of your life, so that if your opponent wants to play the 10 cost Lin, well, it only gets half of its effect. It's still worth playing, right? I think it's still a very good play, but like I said, they'll only get half of their effect. So that is really solid. This is some really solid stuff going on here. Now, if I am the Katakuri player, I am playing 10 Lin right here without any hesitation, because he has, number one, he has 2 of them. He has 4K counter and then a 3K counter. He has the 2 Lins, another 2K counter, excuse me, and a 200 million volts Amaru. So he will easily be able to survive this turn, or I shouldn't say easily, but you guys know what I mean. He does know what his bottom life card is. He did set it there with his leader's effect. I would play a 10 cost here no matter what. Because the other option is maybe try to attack into the, what's his name, the kid, the Eustace kid here. But again, you have to go through 2 blockers and 9 cards in hand. It's just not going to happen. It's just, you need to get on a 10 Lin so that you can get 1 for sure attack into Eustace kid every single turn. So that way, you see what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, swing 12 into a kid without any Dawn investment, and then you can make your play from there. Okay, so he decides to do that. He's going to take the attack route, so he's not playing 10 Lin. He's going to swing 9 into, or 10 into Eustace here, and he's going to give him a 2K and a 1K, it looks like. I think that's what that was. I couldn't quite tell. And next up, it's going to be a 9K. Okay, so that's going to be a 1K and a 1K, or a 2K. Gives him a 2K Mihawk. And another 9K. All right. Use a blocker. Okay, and pass. Very nice. So now that he has untapped safely, this game looks very, very good for the Uda. I know it might not look that way because of all the life and stuff, but because he did not establish a 10 Lin, he knows he could just play a bunch of blockers and draw cards now. Like, I'm just saying, like, if you do not establish a card that can match the biggest card on your opponent's side of the board, and you can't swing past it in this case because it's a Eustace kid, yeah, what are you supposed to do? You know, you're just going to load up all your Dawn to try to get through every time when he can block your biggest attack with a blocker? I don't know. That's something you have to really consider. And look, he has 2 other Eustace kids in hand, by the way. I just see that at the bottom of his, or on the far left of his hand. Okay, he takes a life, plays out another 7-cost Luffy, which will be able to play out another card. Let's see what he decides to play out. Looks like he's looking at a 4-cost 6K Zoro. Okay, and that does make sense. He doesn't really have another option. So yeah, that does make sense. And now he's got 1 more threat. His opponent is at 1 life. Yeah, and notice how, again, this is why I think the guy on the right is starting to realize, the Katakuri player is starting to realize, yeah, I should have just played 10 Lin. There's no doubt about it. Because he's not going to attack my characters. Like, why would he attack the characters when he has to invest bare minimum 2 Dawn to attack into his Eustace kid? Yeah, this is going to be very hard for the Katakuri to win at this point. But he can still win, I think, especially if he gets a decent life trigger. If he can somehow take out this Eustace kid, or just establish the 10 Lin. Like, I would probably try to still do it, because he still has, what is it, a 2K, a 3K. I think he has 7K in hand of triggers, and that would put him up to 2 life if he plays a 10 Lin. That is a risky position to be in. So here we go. Swing 10 at life, swing 8, or not 10, excuse me. It was swing 10 at kid, swing 8 into kid, swing 8 into kid, and now it's going to be swing 8 more into kid, and now a blocker's going to go away. This is very bad. This is a very bad position for the Katakuri player to be in. And 1 8-cost Katakuri would just win the game for him. You guys see what I'm saying? Like, it's one of those situations where now that Uda is in the format, 8-cost kid, or 8-cost Katakuri, sorry guys, kid, Katakuri, both 8 costs, it's confusing me. 8-cost Katakuri has to be an auto-include if you expect to go against an Uda. I feel like it just has to be. I don't know. But I still also stand by what I was saying earlier. If he had just established his 10-cost Lin last turn and just said, okay, I'm going to give you 1 turn to set up because I'm going to bash through. But, okay. So there's the card he had set from the beginning of the game, or near the beginning of the game, was a 200 million volts Amaru. He trashes a 10 Lin and trashes a Pero Sparrow, gains a life, And your turn. Let's see what he does here. Looks like he's going to swing 7. Or maybe he's thinking about 6 and have 8 Dawn left to play with. Yeah, I don't think I would. I think I would just... Okay, so swing here. Oh, wow. So I think I can see what play he's going to do. He's going to do the exact same play as the beginning. 9 Dawn active. He's going to play out a Eustace Kid to play out a 3-cost Uda to restand that 7-cost Dofi, or 7-cost Luffy, and the game's going to be over next turn, I think. He can't decide. He's thinking about it. He's like, should I? Should I? It's like, yes, you should. I think he should. I think he should play out the 8-cost, what's his name? The 8-cost Eustace Kid, just like last time, which will be able to play out the 3-cost. Okay, he's going to swing 7. So he's going to swing 7 into life, it looks like. Gives him 8k, or goes up to 8k. All right. Now it's going to be swing 7, use Nami effect. I like that a lot. Searches for, what was that? That's a new Genesis. Or at least that's what they put on the screen, I believe it was. And he swings for lethal. Okay, sorry, I completely missed that. So he decided he was just going to go for lethal here. Okay. So he takes that last life, that last 7, the 7k hit from Nami, and says, oh, you have 2 cards left in hand, huh? Okay, well, I guess I'll just go ahead and swing, what is that? 10. It's impossible to counter out of. GG. Uda wins. Guys, that is just awesome. That was really awesome. So, it's interesting to see Uda make it to this level of the tournament, right? Like, mono green, film Uda, competing at the highest level over in the East. I wonder if that will be the case over in the West as well. We're still like 3 months away from where these guys are at for the most part with the EB01 stuff, or maybe it's like 2.5, 3 months, something like that. We're pretty far away. But yeah, I'm very anxious to try out some of this stuff. And I guess I should ask, of all the cards we saw, how many of them were even, let me go way far back. I don't think any of these even came out for EB01. I think this is a deck we can play currently. Like, we could use this deck right now. So, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see who swaps over to the Green Uda deck. I did recently play against a player in the finals of a local this past Friday who was playing Green Uda, playing exactly the list you see here, and I was playing Blue-Black Sakazuki. So, people are definitely starting to catch on to this new trend, and that this is a very powerful deck, especially when you build it this deep into the game, like build it into like the big 8-cost characters and whatnot. Very solid and a lot of potential. All right, guys, well, that's about it. That's all I got to say today. If I missed anything, you'll help me out down in the comment section below. What did y'all think about this game? What do y'all think about Green Uda? What do y'all think about Katakuri? And yeah, is this what you expected to see? In you know, at the end of an Eastern tournament in the East? Very, very interesting stuff here. Right, guys, I'm done rambling. Please don't forget to like, subscribe if you have not already. And yeah, until next time, guys. Peace.